Oh my goodness. Happy New Year to you too, Chris. All right, I think I got Instagram. Nope, Instagram is not posted. Here, okay, there we go. 99%. It was hanging there for like several seconds. All right, let's see. I've got my ears in. I think everything's ready to go. I had a different shirt on, but it had like pinstripes. And I was testing it on the screen and it looked kind of psychedelic. So I was like, okay, last minute costume change here. All right, there we go. All right. Oh, I think is happy. Yes, he's supportive. Oh, this is so crazy. So I tried on and I think it's going to have to go in the donate pile, but I don't know if I actually donate it, because when I tried on this wool top I had, it had like 3 holes right here, and I'm not sure how those happened. But as I recall, I think I got it on sale at Uniqlo for like $5, so I'm not too broken up about it. It was always itchy. I'm just not going to tolerate itchy anymore. All right. Get this laid out because I know I'm going to be heavy on the dialogue on this one. I want to make sure I've got enough room for it. I think I only need 4 frames on this one. I could... I don't know, actually. I might extend it out and put... because my... Actually, I don't think I need it. I might not need it. Because the way I have it laid out... I really only need... I'm looking at my notes over here. Don't. She is a little chubby. Are we going to get a stretch? Oh, big stretch. Okay, as you were. Sometimes she gets stuck in the big stretch. And I kind of love that. All right, I'm going to keep it at this for now. But that's enough space for this. Really? Uh-oh, bath time. Oh, no, just a light repositioning. I only have her heater on low, well, warm, because warm is number 1. I actually have 4 settings on that. And I gave her setting number 2 last time because she was threatening to leave. So I gave her a little bit more heat, and that kept her as my clickbait. And she doesn't need that big of a spot, but sitting right there. And then they're going to be up here. Kind of going to be on the top of a hill. The hill to be like people are, characters are have a couple of them. Maybe Pudge will be over here journaling and them to be here cheering everybody on. And she's going to be sitting here with her little flags. And I think Boop is going to be over here with a little sign. I'm going to bring back Fitness Floof. Fitness Floof is going to be running up the hill. I like that. So here they're walking, and then she puts her sack of stuff down, and then they're getting the little ribbons and flags out of their sack of goodies here, and then you zoom out. It's kind of like each frame is zoomed out just a little bit more. So close up on the face, zoom out a little bit, zoom out a little bit more, and then we have the whole scene revealed where they're all kind of together and having a good little moment. So I'm gonna group this and send it to 30%. And I don't think I was gonna originally add a beat in here and have this frame be down here and like be an expansive establishing shot. Well, not really, it's the end of the comic, but have a full scene, but I don't really think it's necessary. Not that I'm trying to cut out work, but I think that sometimes I add in, and that's really something that you don't see, or actually I don't really show that on stream, is when I'm laying out a comic, oftentimes I'll start out with far more frames than will end up in the final version, and a lot of the art of subtraction happens there and not on stream, because I want to get this pretty much nailed down completely before I start drawing live. God, that doesn't look like a word. That really doesn't look like a word. This always happens. I know I haven't made a comic like this before, so at least I'm not fighting that. Interesting. So there's a 5-second delay between my OBS and YouTube. The live counter says exactly 5 seconds slower. Interesting. I don't think I've ever noticed that because they changed the layout of the, or at least my account go live screen changed recently, and I don't think I ever noticed that countdown up there before. Oops. Let's give it one more. There we go. Now we're good. Here we go. Now we're good. So, I mean, I wasn't upset with the Stranger Things finale. I think it was as good as it could be. There were a couple of points where, I mean, okay. I feel like they got scared of killing off characters because all of the impactful deaths in the series, I mean, they made final, and I think that, you know, I think everybody had far too much plot armor for one. So. Well, I want to say that, and I don't want to put out spoilers in case anybody watches that hasn't seen it yet, but I mean, I think it was as good as it can. Given how irritated I was with the pacing and the leisurely stroll across the wasteland to escape in the last one, that irritated me the most. And the stopping to have a rousing, you know, inspirational conversation in, you know, the same environment where you just got barely missed escaping last time. Just like, really? Characters? And it was, I understand that they needed to, the episode was split kind of in half. The action and resolution on all of the story happened in the first hour. The second hour was epilogue and character send-offs, closings, and, you know, farewells. And, well, not really farewells because they all kind of, I mean, of course, the younger kids are going off to college. The older ones, like Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, and whatever, Robin, they were like, okay, well, we're going to come back and, you know, meet every year or whatever. And, but of course, the other ones got their send-offs. And that took time. But the big bad, well, I mean, Vecna was the big bad, but the other big bad in this final series, or season, was Linda Hamilton's character. And she ended up being barely an inconvenience. And, you know, just kind of, you know, all that setup was pretty much, what was that? What is that YouTube channel? The pitch meetings for all these different movies, where the guy, you know, shrugs off all of the setup, as they often do. I don't feel like Guinevere's eyes are that big. She's got bigger, more round eyes, but they're kind of, yeah, there we go. I just had to get the right. What else did I watch? Something else. To mention. Obviously it didn't stick very well if I can't remember what it was. Oh well. This I think I'll have to move up a little bit. Because she's holding the bag up here with her arms around it. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a box where I want it to be, and I can stylize from there and make the final liner. I don't think I talked about seeing that other movie. That was the one I saw while I was with my parents. It was The Housemaid. I thought that was entertaining enough. Oh, darn it, there was something else I watched that was new. And I can't recall what it was. As soon as stream is over, I'll remember. I'll be like, oh god, how could I forget that? I need her arm to be up a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's better. There we go, and there's on the other side, her paw coming around. One of the books I got for Christmas from my sister was it's a really interesting one, actually. It's called Looking for Calvin and Hobbes, and the author goes on a quest to get an interview. Bill Watterson, who made Calvin and Hobbes, is kind of famously reclusive. And once he ended the comic series, he just kind of, you know, I want to say washed his hands of it, but he's been very, there's not been much merchandise done after it. I think they did the compendium volume, like the big hardback and then softback versions of the complete collections. But really not much other marketing and merchandising done. He's held pretty tight control of that and also refused a lot of interviews. And so this is him kind of going through the history of the Calvin and Hobbes comics and just kind of trying to get an audience with him. I don't think he does, actually, but I think the interesting part in here is the journey. But he kind of did a study of everything that he could find and put it together in there. So I'm really looking forward to that because it's one of my primary influences, I would say. Now let me draw this grocery sack before I actually start erasing her body. I'm going to group these two together. I think this is wrong. I need to angle it up a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. And I need to pull this edge in because her paw is coming right there. And let's do a couple of crush lines maybe to suggest she's pinching the edges in. Alright. Now let's see, I've got a couple of things that she's going to bring with her. I'm going to draw just the back side of this. I'm probably going to be erasing a lot of this. I want to make sure it's at least there. And I'll fill in. I'm going to have a couple of flags poking out. And then let's see a couple of pieces of paper because Boop is going to be holding on to a sign that says "You've got this." And let's see, what else can we... I'll draw a few more flags in here, I think. I don't know if that's really the right... I kind of want to put... Oops. There we go. I guess that's right. Let's just leave it there. Delete those. Super easy there. Put that other stuff in here. I think that's enough for now. Alright, so let's jump out. And I'm going to erase my guide. And now I can, I've got a lot of lines that I can erase here, so let's get to that. Actually erase her chin too. And arm and part of her... Oops, there we go. Actually, I can take all of that out because that paper's covering it. And let's draw this. Let's push that up a little bit, and this. And then I can get rid of her shoulder. Oops. There we go. Oh, whoops. I don't want to erase the entire body line here because I do have that little bit of her leg showing. Oh, and let's add, I'm going to add just like the bit of her cape kind of curling and flowing underneath here. there's Boop. Oh, sorry, there's Granny Bear. And now let's get Boop in here. I was thinking I've got to do some writing on this, but I want to do, and I'm not sure what. I have a couple of ideas for short stories, and by that I mean, so I usually do one comic post, so it's self-contained. Like if I post on Tuesday, the frames are usually all from the same page, same story, and that's all one unit. I'm wanting to do some, maybe at least possibly 3 parts, but more continuous stories. And that I would perhaps, Tuesday, Friday would be part 1 and 2, following week would be 3 and 4, or maybe this would be something I would post independent of those, giving me more time to put those together. Because what I'm thinking is it wouldn't be one frame. If I'm in an Instagram sense, it wouldn't be one frame per slide. It would be multiples, maybe even 4. And but it would be a continuous story. I had an idea to bring back in Berry Ninja and Samurai with like a mystery series, like at Cozy Town Mysteries. Like something would go missing, like Granny Bear would lose her favorite recipe book and there's a trail going off into the woods. So Berry and Samu come in to solve the mystery. And it turns out to be something, completely wholesome, like the Floofs wanted to make her favorite thing, and they borrowed her book, but didn't tell her or whatever. Something like that I could unfold that story over the course of several posts, pages, installations. I've seen other comics do that. Bishimao does that. They will do, I've seen, actually, it wasn't Bishimao. They're usually only like up to 3 parts, maybe 2 parts usually. There's another one. Was it Cat and Cat? I think it's Cat and Cat. There was like a 10-part series that was an origin story of one of the characters. And I thought that was very interesting how she did that, but it was spread out over a good period of time, as it would be, because it's, I think that alone probably could have done maybe a 32-page children's book. It was a large series, and each installation that she posted was approaching the 10-frame limit on Instagram. So arranging all of those on one page. Her head is about right, but I don't like the angle of it, so I'm thinking about doing that. Maybe it could be something, I could release it. Maybe release it on the email list. Definitely on the website, and I do have ways to sort and assign chapters and stories, which I need to do. I need to do my separate character section. So if you want to just read the Pug comics, you can jump to Pudge, Granny Bear, Floofs, vice versa. But I do have the ability to do chapter searches as well, and I could just create those under chapters and have a chapter listing. That might get really long though. I'm just trying to think how I could actually publish those. her to have a more conversational tone to her expression. She's not yelling at TV. It's conversation. Now her little digits are getting lost. So there's her footers. Maybe I'll just put something like that. I don't need to have her wings. Those actually look about like they can fit over her back. I might need to shave her booty off a little bit. It seems like this angle is okay, but it seems like I'm giving her a little bit much booty here. And let's make her face, mouth more proportional. Oops, I can get rid of that. And I'm gonna probably bring this in here, I think. I do want to make that line thicker. There we go. How's that? That seems a little bit better. And then I need to move this. And now her head seems too small. Or rather, let's get that over there. There we go, that's better. Just move that one like that. And let's get this little foot. And then I'm going to move her eyes over here so she's just a smidge. So she's looking at GB a little bit more. So let's do, I have the curve of her wings, her inner wings. I need to make this smaller, I think. There we go. And that's super out of line. That's a little bit better. Control key. It never stays on. Even though I'm wiggling him about, I do something that makes him pop off. There we go. And all that trouble I went through to redraw her body, I'm just erasing it. She's almost completely round. She's kind of looks like one of those pill bugs. What are they called? Roly-polies. Go ahead. I don't like this tangent she's at, so I'm going to group her and just scooch her just a little bit closer. And now let's get her dialogue in here, and then I'll draw my speech bubble. Go. So I know this is just like any another day. Excited about a fresh start at the new year. About a fresh start or with the new year. Fresh start with the new year. I know this is just like any other day. BG. BG. Kitty. Let's center. And is that, let me zoom out. That's all right. It is a little wordy. Let's see if I can. Let me bring this down a few points. Is that too small? No, actually, I think that's about right. Let me just 35. There we go. And let's give this a little bit more room to breathe. There we go. I think that'll be all right. All right, let's go ahead and get that contained in a dialog bubble. You know what, I'm going to take out the pause with GB here. I'm going to put it again. I know this is just like any other day, but I still feel excited about a fresh start with the new year, GB. And that's a problem too, because I had originally... Okay, well that's actually going to make it easier on me, because this is going to be a snowscape. Everybody's going to be exercising, running, walking, and well, it's not that snowscapey, but it's going to be a little bit, maybe approaching spring, maybe a little snow melt. To win. Alright. And maybe I'll drag this down a tiny bit and I'll have it popped behind her ear. And let's do that speech bubble. Oh, whoops. That's not the way I usually do it. Let's just do it like that. So we get an exact. Right, and now I can go in here and erase this little overlap. Oh, that's the show I watched. I watched The Long Walk on the flight back from my sister's place. And it's based on a Stephen King novel that was, I think, kind of a commentary on the Vietnam War. But it's a dystopian future where it's a little Hunger Gamesy, or maybe Hunger Games got some inspiration, though I think Hunger Games was primarily inspired by Battle Royale, but I don't know if Susan Collins would think that. At any rate, they have every year this walk, this competition. The winner gets one wish and like a bunch of riches. And the game is that once every state has a representative, so there's 50 walkers, and they all start walking, and whoever walks the longest is the winner. I think they end up going I know it's over 200 miles. I'm trying to remember what the final was at. But it's primarily a character study, and I enjoyed that aspect of it, but the ending was a little bit I'm still not sure how I feel about the ending. And apparently the book is very different. It usually is, but the opposite character dies in the book versus the movie. I don't know. I like it because it makes you think. But group it, and then I want to go in, and I guess I'll do my snow effects and stuff later. I think I'll leave that because it's just going to be the background color, like the sky color, and then snow. And it makes me think that, or maybe I won't do snow because it could be, I want it to be a little springy looking, not quite as cold as the height of winter, but maybe a warmish day where the snow is melting a bit. And I realized that I completely blew it on my frames. That's alright. I'll just draw another one. Usually I draw all my frames first and then I start erasing stuff. But, let's see, what did I do? That's not the end of the world. Here we go, 2 clicks. I can just get him where he needs to be. What's going on here? Okay. Weird. That was good. I'm going to ungroup that. And this is good. Alright, now I can go in and erase this. Alright, and we're bringing this up front. There we go. Alright, so now they reach the bench. She's putting her sack of goodies down, and she's answering, "Me too, Miss Boop." And then the next frame, she's going to say, "I think hope is infectious." and I want to pour as much fuel on that fire as I can. And so that's going to be the pullback, and you'll see her with her little flags, and Boop will be holding the sign, "You got this," and we'll have the fitness floof is running over the hill, Momo and Coco are going on a walk, Pudge is journaling. Oh, Pup, hello! Welcome to the stream! Happy New Year to you too! How are you doing today? I need to save because I haven't saved in a while. All right, so Boop is going to land on the edge of the little bench here. Granny Bear is going to put down her her grocery bag, and then they're going to be getting the stuff out here. All right, we get a little reveal of where they are. I'm going to start with the bench though. Maybe this can be a little shorter. And then let's do, I'm just going to do the silhouette of the legs here. So maybe a shadow. There we go. And then I need to get that line done a little bit better here. Down over there. That's not even going to be seen because she's putting the grocery sack there. Do I want to have this bench with the, yeah, let's just do the slats like that, even though once again these aren't going to be seen. Well, maybe this will be being blocked by her grocery bag. I think I might draw GB first because I reference the size of her between her ears for the size of Boop. I think I'll make Granny Bear in her own group as well. So what I'm doing here, let me zoom out. On my comics, I start with a rough sketch. So you can see that here, and then I usually put that on its own layer so I can hide and show it as I need it. I also will put reference images here if I need to have something like for a landscape or a prop that I want to have a real life reference for. I'll usually put it on this layer so I can just hide it real quick and be sure that everything is off my canvas when I'm doing my final exports and saves. I learned that the hard way because there was one comic that I didn't notice I had reference images bleeding behind certain areas until I went to post it on my website and schedule it for social media. I saw like the reference image corner up here and it was a miss. So, and I think I've done that. I accidentally left my rough sketch on too. So I just make sure it's on a different layer. So boom, one click, everything I know is gone, and all I'm left with are my line art and color layers, the finished layer. All right. In terms of characters, I do have some that I always draw together, like Granny Bear and Boop are almost always drawn together. So my reference for size and keeping that consistent is Miss Boop, who is a ladybug. She always is just big enough to fit between Granny Bear's ears, because that's usually where she sits and she rides on the top of her head. And so she can't be larger than that, unless of course proportionally and within the scene, Granny Bear's in the distance, she's, you know, further forward. But when they're in the same, let's call it plane, that's how the size reference is. And that's similar with Coco and Momo. Momo is kind of is an older cat, kind of like a mother figure, and so Coco is always going to be a little bit smaller than her, like a kitten, and so that's kind of the reference I do there. And then between other characters, I usually have Momo, EL, Fat Cat, and Pudge about the same size, and then they're all about maybe a third of Happy. Happy's the tallest, and then they come up about a third of the way to how tall Happy is. But that's how I can maintain consistency between comics and different scenes, and keep the characters not, you know, bigger or smaller, looking weird. Definitely feel like this is off. And I've gone and drawn almost all of Granny Bear not in the right group. I like that. Yeah, I don't like that either. There we go. I don't want to have her... Sometimes I feel like her mouth shape gets a little shouty, and I want it to be a little bit softer, like she's more conversational, I guess is how I can describe it. Kathy, hello! Welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you too. How's your day been going so far? I think I need to move her down a little bit, maybe over here, because she's setting the bag over here. Day's been fine, nice and quiet here at home. Oh, good. It's a beautiful day outside here. And I think it's in the, what is it? It's in the 70s, I think. Weather. Yeah, just about. And it's supposed to get, what is this? Air quality map. Oh, apparently our air quality is poor. That doesn't usually pop up like that. It's gonna get like warmer. It's gonna get in the 80s tomorrow. Really sunny and nice though. And I saw my one of the weather channels I follow said there's gonna be some sort of a shift looks like it's going to be warmer here though. But there's like a trough of cool air above it. All right, so she's going to be putting the bag down. It's a little, let's move this arm over. I feel like she is, I think this might be fine. Let's just put the bag here. Let's just draw a regular. Go, and she has a little bit, that's a tangent that looks kind of awkward. Let's put the, there we go, because her arm is lifted up, so that'll be bringing that up. So I could probably even make it shorter. Seriously? I redrew that one. Oh, that's her leg. Like, I don't remember redrawing her body line like 3 times, but apparently I did. Go. Alright, that's good, that's good. I can take this out. I can fix her... the ear. The ear. This ear either needs to get bigger or this one needs to get smaller. They're looking a little mismatched. God, I had some good ideas for some comics last night, and I didn't write them down, but I have an idea to do a series that's like those, like the movie trailers. There were a couple of parts in The Holiday where the movie guy voiceover starts talking about what Cameron Diaz is doing. It's something kind of like that, that is maybe a little bit of a character intro or reminder, or just maybe, because I have all of the characters, their stories, their backgrounds up here, but all that you guys have seen is what I actually put into the comics, and it's nowhere near what's up here. So I want to develop that a little bit more, and I think I can get some good little character study snippets out of that, and just show like a little bit more about, you know, all of these guys. I feel like her mouth needs to be up a little bit. That's better. Does it need to be bigger? Do I have too much face? Too much Oh god, now her eyes are huge. Let's just split the, there we go. Just a smidge bigger. And now I can draw, keeping a wary eye on YouTube chat because it hasn't been updating lately. So if you see me not paying attention, or if you've posted something and I haven't acknowledged it, it could very possibly be that I haven't seen it. Last stream, I didn't think anybody was in chat, and then all of a sudden just bloop, like a massive line pops up, and I see I've missed quite a bit. Just, I don't know why it does that. I think, no, actually she might be about the right size here. Let me just move her over. Is she? She could be a little smaller. All right, that'll work. And I'm going to group her. He's going to be hanging on like this. And actually now I'm seeing that her face shape isn't quite right. So I'm going to put this up here because that's her little wings. And let me bring this down a bit and redraw that. Oops. She is looking down. Because her head's kind of up like that. I like that better. And this little bit here needs to be fixed because I don't want to redraw this whole piece, but I don't want. Wish I could just erase that. I think I can. Oh, that's going to be risky. Oops, that's definitely not what I wanted to do. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do either. Let's just try erasing it. And that messed it all up. Okay. Oh, there we go. What are you? All right. That's that. Move her little face. And she's going to have little digits here. Let's move her booty back a little bit. And then put to here. Or maybe she's just hanging off the back. Let's just try that for now. And I can put maybe just one there. I'm reading too fast. I don't think this is quite right. Maybe I could have like a whole wing. Oh, if that's the size of her wing, maybe the other wing would be more. No, I think the other wing might be more like this. How long have you been making comics for? Quite a while. I started, well, I started holding down a regular schedule in about 2017. I started trying to draw them in 2010, and to not much success. It took me forever to draw one because primarily I was working with keyboard and mouse, so that was quite difficult. And then around 2016, early like January, I got my first tablet, and that accelerated everything. I started daily painting around that time, and that also accelerated how fast I could draw something. And so about a year after that is when I started doing one comic a week, and then I think into 18-ish I did 2, and that was a schedule that I felt pretty comfortable with. So I've got, show here, I'm up to volume, where are you? I'm up to volume 6. Here we go. I've got 6 of these. Let me grab, try not to disturb Coconut. I did one collection of just the Webcomics, because I've got quite a few of those. And then this is volume 4, volume 5 and 6. I want to I'm torn. I want to do a recover of, I'll probably keep volume 1 the same, but I kind of want to do a recover of 2 because at a glance they look very similar. And I'm thinking I might do that because the spines you can kind of easily see. So, but yeah, each of these volumes is about 1 year, with the exception of the volume 1 because that collected all of the older comics too. So it's about 1 year of weekly postings per volume after that volume 1. And most of them are, well, all of them are these 1-page. I guess it could be counted as a serial because it is a 1-page that's a standalone. And I'm thinking about making longer form stories that are maybe several parts. Trying to build up more character arcs for these guys. And she still seems too big. You can fit between her ears, so. The only thing I want to do is kind of bring that down a little bit. There we go. So now I need to get their bag of goodies redrawn here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. I thought Illustrator was crashing. Okay, save. Let's save. That's enough. Yes, I have, well, animated shorts in that, like, very, I would say 8-second max on a loop, and I would extend that to about 15 to 20 seconds. I have, I think, 2 of, well, maybe it's just 1. I have 1 of them in my shorts on this channel, and the other ones I've posted on my Instagram, but it's mostly just trying to teach myself animation. So I'll have like a goal with one of them because I'm still at the very early stages of animating, like for example, I did one where a floof is spinning because I wanted to do that motion of a character turnaround. I did another where Momo was jumping across the screen, so I wanted to do that weight and kind of bouncy ball exercise, but with a character. I did a short one of them waving, and I also did one where a floof kind of walks up on a log and then jumps off, and so I have that, that whole. Another one I did that I was really happy with was bouncing on a mushroom, because I had those two interacting with each other. I had the force of the floof bouncing, the mushroom bouncing down and bouncing back up. So I haven't done like animated shorts in the sense of like a 1 to 3 minute mini story or animated movie type deal. Mostly just GIF type things and small motion type things. Hey Dee, Happy New Year! We have that kind of piece of paper coming over here. Thanks so much for the shout outs. Oh, happy to have you here, Dee. As always. It looks like chat is staying up, or rather keeping up, or at least my little chat roll here is keeping up more or less with what you guys are posting, which is a far cry from what it was doing last time. I don't animate, but I support small animators and have a few animator friends. Yeah, it's definitely a labor of love. And, once I feel like for me there's a warm-up period, but once I get going, I kind of leap into more and more difficult animation puzzles. I would call them puzzles, but yeah. Motions and concepts. And originally when I started doing making GIFs for these characters, I was studying the Animator's Survival Kit. Williams by, what's his name? Richard Williams. And so I would read a chapter in that book, and then I was like, okay, I want to try this. I want to try squash and stretch. I want to try, one of those there was I had a character fly in, bounce on a cupcake, and then bounce out. And that one taught me, because I really nailed the motion of the cupcake, I felt. It was bouncy like a trampoline. But what I learned was that I needed very few frames to do that quick motion and make it believable, and because your eye kind of blends and fills in. And so that's what I would do, is I would just kind of read and figure out, okay, I want to try this, I want to try that, and then I would use my characters as the subject there. But that being said, animated shorts and longer forms, definitely something I want to incorporate. I'm ready to erase this. Is going to say all right, and I don't think I need to have that up there because they're just setting this down. And just grab this and sample that. And there we go. Bouncing on a cupcake, fascinating. Yeah, no, that it was. I don't. Okay, hold on. Let me hit save here. And then I'll post the GIF. You can see all the GIFs on Jiffy. I think it's jiffy.com/ I think that's the address. Yeah. All right. So you can see all of the ones I've done there. I'll post this in chat. Oh, you can see all of the Jiffy GIFs I've made, which is kind of like my first try at animation. You can see those at that link. So I have an account on Jiffy, and you can actually use these on Instagram and anywhere that supports that engine. You just search up Be Cute, and they should all come up. But the cupcake one is down a little bit further. You can see Momo fly in and then bounce out. I've got Pudge eating popcorn. I've got Coconut in a pile of leaves. If I look at my analytics on these, it's actually pretty funny. There was a moment when Evil Landlord Sipping Tea went viral, and you can see just a huge spike, and it was her, and I don't know what happened. I think, actually, I know what happened. It got on the first page search results for sip or tea or something like that. And because I have that in the search tags. And I guess a lot of people started using it, or a big account used it once. But yeah, she got a little traction. I have some, the other one that I'm really happy with is Coconut. She's clapping her paws and stomping. That one that was one of the first ones I did of her. And the tail wag, that was the first time I had a tail wag in there. So those are the elements I worked on there. Let me see, can I actually, oh, I'm not logged in, that's why I can't see. Let me see if I can log in. You know what I'm, yes, I know. GIF versus GIF, or GIF. Peanut butter. Okay, let's see. Visit your dashboard. Let's see what my dashboard says. I clicked dashboard. Please take me there. All right. Let's see. Now we're getting pretty good on the sticker views here. Well, oh, it looks like, oh, see, you know, T is still up there. It's not in the millions, but it's still, oh, level up is going good. Oh, the cupcake one is good. Hey, well, that's cool. But yeah, EL sipping tea, new wallpaper. Oh, that makes me happy. Let's see. Let's go to top content. Okay. Search insights. What does that mean? Oh, that's where you can actually, okay. Photo views. What about views over time? Can I change my, I guess I don't have any deeper analytics. Dashboards, collections, whoops. I wonder if I can go in and see if I can click on one of these and see analytics. Yeah, so if I'm looking at EL sipping, for example, I see that she's had 60 million views. Now that's nowhere close to, you know, some of the popular, you know, ones out there that are used all the time, but she shows up pretty high on the related sticker results. And I know because I happened upon that when I was just checking the account, and I saw that spike in views, and I was like, what the heck's going on? And then I did the Instagram search, and she came up like right at the top. So that one is pretty big, but I don't know how I can see more than, because it doesn't look like I can edit this report. It's just for the last month. It's like a monthly. Maybe once your count gets to a certain level, you can, let me look at this new wallpaper and see how, yeah, that one's only at 3 million versus 60 million. So, I mean, but at any rate, it was pretty interesting to see that. And pretty cool. Definitely. I don't like how close that is to the edge, but I feel like if I push her dialog box up and overlap it, that would look weird too. But let me just see here if I can do a test run and see if it actually does look weird or if it's me just being weird. It's very possible. I already know I need to make this bigger. And then, okay, so let's go in here. Let's make you longer so you'll actually connect over there. You longer over here. And let's do the same with these guys. Alright, there's our dialog box. And I'm gonna, whoops, these two. And let's move this up before I draw the tail. I think that'll be okay. Need to zoom in for this one. So there's my complete dialog box. Alright. I do tune this, please. I want a little bit of some scenery here. Feeling that it needs some. Not there because that's a little closer, and this is further away, and this is even more further away. Save. And I can move this sketch set out. save. And the last thing I want to do here, I'll push this forward. I'm going to group these two. I'm going to come in here and erase this so the dialogue pops over the frame, but I still can use the frame to clean up the coloring of the line art. Oh, I actually went outside and just erase those. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hit save again. I'm going to put her dialogue in. Do I want to make that an ellipse or... All right. I kind of feel like it should be an ellipse. I'll just leave it as it is. He says, I think hope is infectious. I don't want to pour as much fuel on that fire as I can this year. And so we're going to have all of these other characters kind of working on their New Year's resolutions. Fitness Floof has not made an appearance in a long time, so it's coming back. And I'm going to go ahead and make this dialogue a little bit bigger. Maybe not that big. So this one, all right. So now I'm going to pull back the camera a little bit more, and she's going to be sitting on the bench now, and they're going to be unloading this bag, and we're going to start to see all of the flags, and maybe I'll have the sign kind of coming out here. It says you've got this, because Boop is going to be holding that over here. Why are you looking irritated? Are my books too close to you? I'm sorry. There you go. There you go. He likes chin scratchies. Alright. So I'm going to, I think I'll do it eye level at the bench, the seat of the bench. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill that in. So that's not really information you need. And I'm just going to draw the other bench leg like that. And then Granny Bear will have her. Let's see. That seems about proportionally right. I might bring this down a little bit more. And maybe bring this in a little bit. Because she's going to need to be over far enough so that the bag can sit here. So let's just get those. Where did I have? The bag was just below there. So bag is going to be here. I'm just going to draw a box right now. Maybe she's kind of dragging it down to get at what's inside. So that's about the room I want for the bag. Just bring it down just a smidge. And that'll give enough room for Boop right here and GB right here. Also give me enough room for her dialogue box. I think her ears are messed up here. But let me, because I know I don't need them showing over here. Her head's a little messed up too. Let's just redraw this. And then I can just smooth this out. There we go, better. All right. And let's smooth that edge out a little bit. Kind of need to make her ear a little smaller. It's a little bit big. And this tangent with the edge of the frame will not do, and I've got plenty of room down here to drop this. Let's see, she's going to be sitting. I'm going to have her legs like this, maybe. And then her paw is going to be over here. Let's just draw her. Even though I'm drawing out of the frame, I just want to make sure that I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to group Granny Bear separate from the bench so I can just have her sitting on top and have that layer that I just need to pop up top. It'll be a little bit difficult, but I think I know how I'm going to do it. And let's Yeah, let's keep her grouped with the bag as well. All right, so there is my bench and bag. So here we go. Now I should be able to see more clearly. There we go. Yes, there we go. Much better. Now I just need to, I like these eyes, but I need to make, hers are a little bit more, they're wider. These are more like maybe food for coconut eyes. I feel like maybe her head is turned about just right. Alright, I think I've gotten the lines that I need. I don't need her body showing through because her arms are in front. And let's draw this over here. That. And now I can go ahead and get, I'm going to change this paw to me holding up. Because I do want room for the speech bubble. So I could put it there, but I'm thinking here because I will bring this down to be in line over here. Actually, I don't mind this line for the bag. I just need to draw the serrated or the jagged edges for this part of it. There we go. And then I think I need to draw Boop in here real quick because she's going to be pulling out the sign that says you've got this. Too big. She's kind of too big. I can already tell. Whoop! Make her smaller. Ah, so she's pulling out the sign and I won't see any of her foot. And I really like that. I really like how she's kind of vertically hovering. But you can't really see that once I erase things. But that's okay. I like what I've got with her pulling out this. Let's just do this. Pulling out the paper more. I think that is need to have all of this stuff. I'm gonna put probably the U. I had it as one line as the U shortened. You got this. Lego! How are you, Warren? I hope you're having a good day so far. I remember this paper is twisting because she's pulling it out of this bag, so I can't have the words look. That's not the way it would hang. If it's attached at both corners, the corner is probably up here somewhere. Alright, so now that I've got that, can get rid of a lot of these lines. Like that. A little bit of detail there. And I'm gonna make this one zigzaggy. I can probably just fill in this area. Easy peasy. All right. And I don't need much of the bench that I drew now. But I am going to move it up a little bit because this tangent right here is not good. Stop. Now just easing it up a tiny smidge so I have the lines aren't really messing things up. And I can erase a lot of this. So the last thing I need to do is erase this, and I may edit her foot. Her foot's kind of, just do that right now. Put that there and maybe do something like that. Like that. This is a note for later because I want to. I need to grab the hope is infectious. And I need to draw my dialogue box. And I centered that about right there on the other one. Yeah. Alright, so let me just get this drawn in and then I'll end the stream there. Here we go. Alright, and let's draw her little tail, dialogue tail down here. And the way I edit these to be seamless is I just do that. There. And go ahead and pop her ear on top of this. Alright. And I will go in, fix the foot later, and erase everything that's falling outside of the frame. But I do want to go here, and let's bring the outer frame to the front. Group this. I'll go into my frame set and erase this so the dialogue is front. But I still have the advantage of a frame to clean up the coloring. Alright, so that's done. And I want to move this up so you can see it. So this is the comic. Now I'm going to have background elements that I'm going to fill in as I draw. They're not necessarily going to have line art to them. So that's why a lot of these canvases, a lot of these frames look blank behind, like there's no background. There will be, it's just going to go in the coloring stage. So the title of the comic is Fuel. And it starts out with GB and Boop. They're walking, and Boop says, "I know this is just like any other day, but I still feel excited about a fresh start with the new year, GB." And then she sets down what she's been carrying, and she says, "I do too, Miss Boop." And she continues, "I think hope is infectious, and I want to pour as much fuel on that fire as I can this year." And so this last frame is going to show them zoomed further out. So if you're looking, we have close up, zoom out, zoom even further out, and then all the way out so you can see the full scene. And you'll see Momo and Coco going on a walk. You'll see Pudge sitting over here journaling, and you'll see Fitness Floof running up the hill and being delighted at seeing the sign, that the encouraging sign that Boop has, which is going to say, "You've got this." And Granny Bear is going to be waving the flags for everybody. So that'll be the final scene there. It's going to be kind of a hilly, partial spring melt, a little bit of snow, but kind of like a warmer winter day that's just on the edge of spring, I think. And this will be probably the longest to draw, since I have about I've got several, about 6 characters. I don't have Coco in here. 6 characters to draw, and then the rest of it won't be that bad because the coloring will go quick. And then that'll be done, and that'll be tomorrow's comic. Just to show you, this is what a finished comic artboard looks like for me. Once I finish the single page layout, which I call the print layout, I also use this for the website Webcomic. I do a separate set of artboards that are essentially slides for Instagram as well as TikTok. And I put usually 1 frame per slide, and sometimes I'll do a seamless swipe frame as well, and I'll just abut 2 frames and have the artwork going across both of them. And I use the export here, export as, to save these out and not have, especially when I have a seamless swipe, sometimes when I activate a artboard, it'll nudge it, especially if I have this on, or it'll nudge the artwork. So I use the export function, so I'm not touching this and it will seamlessly export everything. I usually add the call to action at the end and some sort of product promo. And this one I used EL Plushie because it's an EL comic, and I wanted to promote that, and then I changed these with the seasons. Addicted to Dungeon Defenders again? Uh-oh. Is the campaign where you were kind of building up those new characters, is that going pretty well? I hope so. But oh, and this guy right here, this is just for my own use on my website. I have a thumbnail that I sometimes call to link the comic in different points. So this is the size I need for that, and I usually just pick a frame that might be like, oh, what's going on? I see EL's plotting, or I might show. I don't usually pick the last part of the comic because that kind of reveals what's going on, but I'll usually pick one of the earlier frames as the thumbnail here. But that's a look at what it'll be when it's finished. Over here you can see my layers, and this layer is finished artwork layer, and then I have my sketch layer, and the sketch is just over here. I do the same thing. I come in, once I have the line art done, I move the sketch layer out, but I've gotten in the habit of saving my sketch because there's sometimes that my sketch lines are, I either won't use a sketch line and I really will like like it. Like maybe I'll think I'll use it on a different comic or later or something else, and I'll want to keep it. I also like to sometimes do progress. You know, this is the first stage of a comic, second stage line art, kind of progress shots, and put those together into maybe a post to see how a comic gets made, or even compile it into a short reel. And that's why I keep these, because, you know, it doesn't come out of thin air. Oftentimes this is even step 2. Step 1, I can show you right here, is right here, is me writing in my notebook, doing a rough sketch of my frames and pacing, and then I take this, transfer it here, and then start the actual line art. You're getting my ass handed me trying to draw. Oh yeah, that would be great, Al. I do, let's see, Tuesdays and Thursdays are when I stream, and Thursdays are usually all comic days. And so if you want to come back and see me making comics and talk about comics while I'm making comics, Thursdays are the day. Of course, I don't care, you know, Tuesdays, talk with me about comics then too, but this is just when I'm actively making them, so you can see like, oh, what did you do here, and ask about the process as it's happening. Tuesdays are a little bit of a mix-up. I'm going to be working on animation again soon. I'm also going to be developing it's not a brand book, and it's not a story Bible. It's like a IP Bible resource that compiles character profiles, world notes, world building notes, maps, all of that. Basically trying to get everything out of here into some other form. Maybe way down the road, an art book or a World of Be Cute type book, if people are interested in that. But I'll be working on that, and some other stuff as well. So those are Tuesdays and Thursdays. I stream about the same time every day, and I go for about 2-ish hours, sometimes more, sometimes less. But if you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I do post go live notices, and of course YouTube. It's been working lately. I get my own notices now, so that's nice. It wasn't working for the longest while. So if you subscribe on YouTube, then hopefully it'll give you a ding when I go live. I'm an underground creator launching an indie collection streaming channel, and love to talk. Oh, cool! Yeah, that would be really neat. We can definitely talk about that. But with that, I'm going to end the stream here, and I'm going to get some lunch. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed watching me draw this comic. And if you want to see the finished version, you can check it out tomorrow morning. It'll be posted on my website, which is coming up on the screen here, as well as Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. They all go live on Fridays and Tuesdays. I'm trying to get back, and I did do this week. I had a Tuesday comic this week, so I'm trying to get back on their schedule. New comics twice weekly. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a happy New Year. Thank you, Al Pup, Chris, Warren. Let's see, Dee, you were in here. I know Kathy was in here. Any of my lurkers. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.